5 minutes. That was all it took for a single image to shake an entire fandom. A photo, a timing coincidence, a silence that felt louder than any denial. And suddenly, one question echoed everywhere. What really happened between Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan this Lunar New Year? It began quietly, almost invisibly. While the world was celebrating Lunar New Year with fireworks, red lanterns, and family dinners, something else appeared online, softly, unexpectedly, and without explanation. A photo surfaced, then another angle, then timestamps. Within minutes, fans noticed details that felt familiar. The red tones, the festive decor, the atmosphere that matched the most intimate night of the year. No captions screaming for attention. No dramatic statements. Just an image that felt too calm to be accidental. And then the timing. 5 minutes apart. In the digital age, 5 minutes is nothing. But to a fandom trained to read patterns, silences, and signals, 5 minutes felt deliberate. Was it coincidence? Or was it something quietly shared? As the images spread across platforms, reactions split instantly. Some fans froze, refusing to speculate. Others felt their hearts race, because something about this moment felt different. This wasn't loud. This wasn't chaotic. This was subtle, and subtle moments often carry the heaviest weight. Lunar New Year is not just another holiday. In Chinese culture, it is the most personal time of the year. A night for family, for closeness, for warmth behind closed doors. Public figures usually disappear during this time, choosing privacy over spotlight. That's why this moment felt so sensitive. Fans began comparing visuals, not to prove a story, but to understand one. Similar lighting, matching festive elements, a shared sense of stillness. Yet no official context followed, no confirmation, no clarification, and silence once again took center stage. In an industry where rumors are often shut down immediately, the absence of response felt intentional to some and simply cautious to others. Many reminded the fandom to breathe, to respect boundaries, to remember that images can mislead, but emotions don't follow rules. For fans who had walked through years of noise, separation, and speculation, this quiet moment felt deeply personal. Not explosive, not scandalous, just human, and that is why it lingered. As the initial shock faded, something deeper began to surface. A quieter, more emotional layer of reaction that couldn't be captured by screenshots or timestamps. This was no longer about what people saw. It became about why it felt so powerful. For years, fans across the world have learned to read between lines. In idol culture and celebrity narratives, meaning is often hidden in pauses, absences, and restraint. In this moment, this silent overlap during Lunar New Year fit that pattern too well to ignore emotionally. What stood out was not excitement, but tenderness. Not chaos, but restraint. Many fans describe the same feeling. This doesn't feel like news. It feels like a moment we accidentally witnessed, especially among international female audiences, those raised on emotional K-dramas and slow-burn storytelling. This felt familiar. The kind of scene where nothing is said, yet everything is understood. No declarations, no framing, just two lives briefly aligning in time. Importantly, no verified source framed this as anything more than coincidence. No insider claims, no confirmation. And yet, emotions don't need confirmation to exist. What happened here was collective projection, not deception, but reflection. Fans saw in this moment their own long-held feelings, patience, loyalty, and a desire to believe that sincerity can survive fame. That is why this moment stayed. Not because it proved something, but because it felt real. As the hours turned into a full day, the fandom shifted again. The noise softened. Speculation slowed. In its place came something rare in online celebrity culture: self-control. Many fans consciously stepped back. They reminded one another that Lunar New Year is not a performance stage. It is a deeply personal space, one that deserves respect above curiosity. And that collective pause mattered. Because in an era where every silence is weaponized and every image dissected, choosing restraint is an act of maturity. Still, the emotional echo refused to disappear. People weren't asking for answers anymore. They were asking quieter questions. Why did this feel comforting instead of shocking? Why did it feel gentle instead of explosive? Perhaps because it contrasted sharply with years of tension, distance, and noise surrounding celebrity narratives. This moment didn't demand attention. It didn't provoke outrage. It simply existed. And sometimes, existence without explanation is the most powerful thing of all. The absence of statements from Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan did not fuel chaos. Instead, it invited reflection. In that silence, fans were reminded of a truth often forgotten. Celebrities are not symbols 24 hours a day. They are human beings, especially on nights meant for warmth and reunion. And that realization quietly changed the tone of the conversation. So now, when the excitement has settled, we return to the question everyone asked at the beginning. What actually happened? The most responsible answer remains unchanged. Nothing has been confirmed, and nothing should be assumed. But that doesn't mean nothing mattered. What unfolded was not a revelation. It was a mirror reflecting how deeply audiences have grown with these figures. How fans no longer seek scandals, but sincerity. Not spectacle, but moments that feel human. 5 minutes were enough to awaken years of emotion, memory, and longing. Not because of proof, but because of timing, symbolism, and silence. And perhaps that is the true story here. Not whether two people shared a celebration, but how a fandom learned, even briefly, to hold space instead of demanding answers. If this moment stayed with you, if it made you pause instead of react, then already served its purpose. Some stories are not meant to be finished. Some moments are not meant to be explained. They pass quietly, leaving behind a feeling, and reminding us why we care in the first place.